And now we're here at the collector profile for the month. So we'll let our guests introduce themselves. Who are you and what do you collect?
Hi, I'm cm5871 and I collect Switch games primarily.
Is that all?
Couple of comics here or there.
All right.
What about them laser discs?
CEDs, man. Need to go older.
So why are games important to you?
I mean, games give me kind of an escape, being able to jump into like a good story. To me, it's like the new book or movie, essentially. Kind of gives you that nice experience and a kind of escape from reality.
What was the first video game that you ever played?
Probably, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Donald Duck game for a color computer back in like the late 80s, early 90s.
And what are your top 3 favorite games of all time?
Definitely have to go with Binding of Isaac. Metal Gear Solid is a huge one. And then Final Fantasy 3/6 for the Super Nintendo.
So we got more Final Fantasy in here, but at least this time it's a really good one. I'm not giving Welch credit for his answer last episode.
And yeah, I'm not. I can't give him credit for that one. But Binding of Isaac's awful recent. That's kind of interesting that it's already hit your top 3 of all time.
Yeah, just the replayability of it. It's just a huge thing for me. I've sunk just in the Switch version over 100 hours easy.
And of course, Metal Gear Solid is a solid choice.
The game is so good. My son is named David after David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake.
What's the worst game you've ever played?
Oh, geez.
And why is it Troll and I?
I mean, Troll and I is up there. I mean, that's just bad. But I don't know. I've played a lot of bad games. I mean, one Chambara Bikini Samurai Squad for the 360 sticks up there.
Whoa. Pump your brakes. Come on now.
That was a random buy I bought years and years ago, and that was bad.
What was the worst?
Out of those two? I mean, Troll and I, just because I literally physically can't play the game, just because it drops down to about 2 to 3, FPS.
All right, we'll go with that one then. What is your most prized video game related possession?
I have 2. One is I have an Amiibo kiosk that I got taken down. And then another one is the Metal Gear Solid 3. They had basically a fake cardboard record where the center popped out and it was a CD, and that has the main theme song Snake Eater on it.
Yeah, you got to pick between those two. There's no playing. Actually, there is playing. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're playing favorites. So you got to pick.
I probably have to go with the Metal Gear just because that was kind of hard for me to find because that was a Tokyo Game Show, I think 2008 exclusive.
I kind of feel like this is going to be obvious, but who is your favorite video game character?
Well, yeah, Solid Snake. Easy.
So what is or was your first adventure in collecting before the Switch?
Probably PS2. I worked at GameStop a number of years ago, and that allowed me to kind of get some of the harder to find games like Rule of Rose, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the Shin Megami Tensei, Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, things like that were a big collector item for me to find. That and Atlas games in general.
What game do you want to see get a physical release?
Probably the main one that I really want, and I know I'm like one of 2 people that want it, is Heroes of Monkey Tavern. I don't know what it is about that game, but I mean, it's just so good, and I think it really deserves a physical release.
All right, here's the big one now. Name 3 collectors that you challenge to be guests on our next episode.
I'd have to say one of them is from Twitter, Joshua French. I think he would be great for this. Schlib would be another one. And let's do, for a fun wild card, I'd say Faye, just because I think, that crazy German guy.
Good choices all around. Now, this being kind of a special episode for us, I did want to expand a little bit more than just the 10 questions and kind of mention to everybody that CM is the reason why the NS Collectors subreddit was started. And I wanted to ask you, what made you start that?
Basically, I've always been like an early adopter of consoles, always buying them day one, but I never really like hardcore collected them. And once the Switch came out, had an absolute blast with Zelda. I was like, you know what? why not start trying to collect a lot of games for? And I was going through and I was finding all these games. And I was like, all right, let's kind of expand to, other regions and things like that. So I started to look into it. No one really had like a list going. And I was like, all right, let's make a subreddit. Let's make a list. Let's try and make this, something easy to track. And then it just literally blew up from there.
And then subsequently, you created a matching Discord for it as well.
Yeah, that was just because I was like, hey, the subreddit, once it hit like 100 subscribers, I was like, oh man, this is huge for me. Let's make a Discord that we can all chat with and, play multiplayer games. And it just kind of exploded.
I can tell you that I'm happy to be a part of that community. The Discord itself, it's taken on, a lot of good life, and we've had a lot of special guests that we've been able to bring and share with everybody, and a lot of them stick around and stay with us, and those that don't pop in every once in a while, and it's great for everybody to be able to have one place to go where they can see and talk to everybody, which is just a great experience for fans. So thanks for creating what became what it is now, creating that subreddit and subsequent Discord. It's been a great place to hang out and talk to everybody about the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a great little idea I had, and I'm great. So many things, came from it. Like this podcast is easily one of the podcasts I listen to a lot, and I don't think it would be here without it.
It's up to every. Other people might have a different idea as to whether or not they should be thankful for that, but we appreciate it.
Well, thanks a bunch for dropping by.
No, thanks for having me.